Hello, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, and that is gut health. Specifically, some mistakes that I've personally made during my gut healing journey. It's definitely something that is still ongoing, but I thought that I would share some things that I thought I could have done better at, and maybe it would help you, and maybe you can learn from my mistakes and you can try to avoid these things. But this is just my personal journey, and keep in mind everyone is very different. A little bit of background if you're not familiar with my videos: I have struggled with candida overgrowth, leaky gut, and SIBO. So I definitely have a lot of experience in gut healing and doing different cleanses and protocols and everything. I started this journey I think in like 2019, and so it's been about 4 years where I've tried multiple things to heal my gut, and you know, it's still an ongoing thing and something that I'll probably always be working on. Let's just jump right into it. I have some notes here that I'll be referring to. So the first thing I want to talk about is drinking alcohol, and this is something that I go through phases. Sometimes it's really easy for me not to drink alcohol, sometimes not so easy. It really depends on the season, how social I'm being, and things like that. And drinking is a very cultural thing. It's very social. So it's kind of hard to not be exposed to it, especially if you're like going out with friends or you're at a party. Usually a lot of the gatherings, there will be some type of alcohol. So it was probably one of the hardest things that I've had to avoid in my gut healing journey. I really struggled with drinking it too much or drinking too often. I think now I have a better relationship with it, but it definitely took a long time. The reason why I think it was a mistake is because drinking alcohol is directly related to damaging your gut lining, and obviously it's toxins. Like, you're literally drinking toxins, and so if you're damaging your gut lining, it can seep through into your bloodstream, and then it can cause inflammation and a bunch of other issues. You know, it's just not good for you, especially if you drink too much and you get drunk a lot. It's just not good for you, and it can really harm the beneficial bacteria in your gut. So overall, just trying to avoid it as much as you can, especially if you're doing some sort of cleanse or gut healing protocol. I would just try to avoid it altogether. However, there has been times when I've been doing like cleanses or a protocol and I was out somewhere or like at an event or something, and I would just stick to very clean alcohol, not like a sugary cocktail or anything like that. Honestly, my go-to is like tequila, club soda, lime. Clean, simple. I'll stick to like 1 or 2 of those, and then that's it, really. Everything in moderation, especially with alcohol. Okay, the second thing I want to talk about is having a lot of refined sugar. So this is different than natural sugar. This is like really refined processed sugar, and just having too much of it. It's kind of similar to alcohol. It can feed that bad bacteria. Avoiding refined sugar as much as possible and limiting your sugar intake is going to be really, really beneficial if you're trying to heal your gut. It's one of the biggest things that I think impacted me, is cutting out sugar, or at least having like low sugar. Okay, the third thing I'm gonna be talking about is not introducing foods back into my diet correctly, especially if I was doing a cleanse or I was cutting out certain foods for a long period of time. You have to be really careful introducing those foods back in, especially if you're cutting out a wide variety of food. As soon as you're done with the cleanse, you don't want to just have all those foods in the same day all at once. You really want to introduce them slowly over weeks or months even, and this is sometimes really hard to do. It's helpful to keep like a food journal just to keep track of what you're eating. If you want to try to reintroduce gluten back in, you want to have it one day and just wait a couple days before you're having it again. And when you do have it, don't have a lot at once, like really small amount. See how your body reacts. And sometimes it can take up to 3 days for your body to have a reaction to it. So if you're reintroducing dairy, gluten, sugar, all the things in one day, and you have a reaction, you're not really gonna know what caused that reaction. It could be anything that you ate, you know? It's like hard to pinpoint exactly what it is. So introducing things slowly over time. If your body has a reaction, you'll have a better idea of what exactly caused it, and then you can do another like elimination diet, so you can try to avoid it for a little bit longer. Ideally, your body's not gonna react to any sort of food, but everyone is really different, and definitely keep that in mind, because you know, what I eat doesn't necessarily mean that you should be eating those things. I can do a whole video of just how to do an elimination diet and also reintroduce those foods. Let me know if you want to see that in the comments and I can make that happen. The next thing I want to talk about is having negative thoughts or bad thoughts before eating. And I really struggle with it. So if you're eating something and it's something that you've had a reaction to in the past, but you've done like an elimination diet, you've done the cleanse, and so you feel like you shouldn't have a reaction, but before you even put it in your mouth, you're like, oh, I'm gonna have this reaction, this is gonna make me bloated, this is gonna make me like constipated. You're already having those thoughts in your mind, so it's more likely that you're gonna have that reaction, if that makes sense. So before you're even eating those foods, you're having those thoughts in your mind, and so of course you're gonna have the reactions that you're thinking about. Just trying to like rewire your mind and think more positive thoughts before you eat something. Like you could say before eating something, I'm so grateful for this meal. It's gonna nourish my body. My body's gonna absorb all the nutrients that it needs. Just saying something like that to have a more positive view before eating it is gonna be really beneficial instead of just focusing on those negative thoughts, because your thoughts are your reality. So you really want to keep that in mind before eating anything. The next thing is something I also really struggle, I really struggle with all these. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to, and that is eating too fast or overeating. This is something that is really impacting your digestion, especially if you're overeating or you're eating too quickly. So if you're eating too fast, it's not going to send the signals to your brain and telling you that you're full or not, because you're just eating too quickly. You're more than likely not chewing your food all the way, and this is also something that can impact your digestive system if you're not chewing your food to a paste-like consistency. So you really want to be chewing your food, not eating too fast / overeating. It's just gonna really impact your digestive system and your gut lining. So just try to avoid that when you can. Just taking smaller bites, putting your fork down in between bites is really helpful. And just taking time to like enjoy every bite, and that's gonna really impact the way you digest your food and the way you absorb it as well. All right, taking probiotics. So this is a hard topic because a lot of people say you have to have probiotics. Some people say you don't have to. I'm specifically talking about like a supplement form of probiotics, not food. There's different strains of probiotics. Each one can really impact your gut microbiome. So I would say do your research really well before just buying any kind of probiotic on the market, and there is a lot. The supplement industry is not well regulated, I would say, especially in the US. You know, you really want to get some that are like third-party tested. So with my experience, I have taken probiotics off and on throughout the years. Honestly, I haven't been noticing like a huge difference when I do take them. I mainly try to get some probiotics through the food that I'm eating, and I also really don't think it's necessary to take a probiotic in the supplement form. Sometimes it ends up feeding that bad bacteria instead of just feeding the good bacteria, which is what you would want. Especially if you have an overgrowth of candida or if you have SIBO or something, it can kind of feed that bad bacteria in your body. So I would say if you're just starting a cleanse or protocol, and this is completely my opinion, I would say that you don't need to take a probiotic supplement, but of course you need to talk to your doctor about that and make sure, because I have worked with a doctor before where she did prescribe a probiotic during the protocol. So it's really different for everyone, it's different for each protocol, but I would say do your research on the different kinds of probiotics and make sure that you're taking one that will impact your gut microbiome in a positive way. All right, sleep. Sleep is the foundation of your health. This is something that you do not want to skip out on, especially if you're trying to heal your gut, because this is when your body recovers. It's when your body heals itself. It is so important, and I need like 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Some people need less than that, some people need more than that, but you gotta really find your sweet spot and try to get that really consistently every night, especially if you're healing your gut, because this is when your body is going to heal itself. Maybe if you're doing a protocol or a cleanse or something, you might not go out as often as you used to, or you might just try to go to bed a little bit earlier, sleep in a little later, any way you can get that sleep, I would recommend getting as much as possible while you're in this healing process. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna be talking about is managing your stress levels. Stress can really impact every part of your body, especially your gut microbiome. It can affect your bacteria in your body. It can disrupt your hormones. There's just so many issues that stress has. It causes inflammation, hurts your gut barrier function. So managing your stress is gonna be really important while you're healing your gut. There's a lot of different ways that I help manage my stress. One is with breath work. So that has really impacted me. Doing some sort of meditation or journaling. Journaling has been really great for me. Having some sort of exercise practice, so yoga, Pilates, doing some walking, weightlifting, but really you wanna just activate your parasympathetic nervous system. So you can do this through activating your vagus nerve, which is like the longest nerve in your body. There's a lot of different techniques that you can do to do this, and there's so many videos online that talk about it as well. So literally if you just Google how to activate vagus nerve, there'll be a bunch of different information for you. But yeah, everyone's really different with the stress management. You just have to figure out what works best with you. It can change day to day as well. Some weeks I'm really good about managing my stress in one way, the next week I'll have to do it in a different way. So also be open to trying different things. Every day might look different for you. So I would just say overall managing your stress will really help you if you're trying to heal your gut. The last thing I'm gonna be talking about is eating a diverse range of foods. This is really, really important. It helps your body be more resilient. It helps feed the diverse range of different bacteria in your body. It helps your immune health. It helps your mental health. It helps promote the growth of the good bacteria in your body. You can get different pre and probiotics in the food that you're eating. And so eating in a diverse way will really just help your gut microbiome in general. And you'll have this great diversity in the bacteria in there. So what I really mean by this is don't eat the same thing every single day for every single meal. If you see something new at the grocery store, like a new fruit, a new vegetable, try to pick it up and cook with it. Each week, try a new dish. You can really experiment a lot with eating a diverse range of food, go out to different restaurants, try to eat from a lot of different cultures too. This is something that has really helped me. Experiment with different seasoning, different dishes. This will definitely help make your gut more resilient. So if there's ever anything bad that's going on in there, it's gonna be really resilient and strong, and it will help fight whatever kind of illness comes about. So this is really, really important. But that's everything that I wanted to talk to you about today. There are some other mistakes, but these are kind of the main ones that I think that I've made. Like I said, I'm not perfect. These are some things that I'm still working on, but I did want to just share them with you to maybe help you learn from my mistakes. Also, something to keep in mind is it's gonna take some time. Don't think that you're gonna see huge results in a week or two. I've spent several years doing this, and you know, it's still a work in progress. It takes time, especially if you spent years damaging your gut. It's gonna take some time to rebuild it and make it really healthy and strong. So just be patient with yourself, do the best you can. I promise you're gonna see results and you're gonna feel amazing. You're gonna live longer and healthier. So I wish you the best of luck. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave them in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Give it a like if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.